Now the boys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here and welcome to season number 3 of the RTG. And this year we are going all out to get promoted from League 1. I think we had a really good season last year. It started very indifferent. We couldn't find our feet. We couldn't find our form in this league, but we managed to in the end. Elliot List had a great season. A lot of good new players came in and now it is time to build to get ourselves to the championship. Unfortunately, in the last episode, the end of the last season, if you didn't see it, go back and watch it. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do it right now. But I did skip forward a day to see what the budget was. Now, the budget is really exciting for this season. It's probably going to get a little bit bigger as well. There's some players on the transfer list. Teray, Shepherd. We are now looking to play this 3 at the back formation. This is what we're going to play. I'm tempted to play this sometimes, but I just think if we get rid of the right back and the left back, we'll play this 3 at the back. I'm going to set up another 3 at the back formation that's a little bit different to this one, so we've got variations of it, but this is the plan. This is how we're going to play. But in my infinite wisdom to see how much the budget was, we skipped forward one day, so we're going to be in the same stadium for this season, so I do apologize. We were going to upgrade it 1, but I need to remember to do that next season and not forget. Of course, at the start of a new season, that means we go off and scout a lot of players. I am scouting a ton. Suggestions, of course, from you guys, as per usual, and some free transfers. I've gone through a lot of free transfer players to see if any of them will suit the team. We currently have a very healthy shortlist as it stands at the moment of players. I'm probably going to go through now and remove some of these because, of course, left back just isn't a position we're looking at anymore, unless I see a left back that I can convert to a left midfielder, which I'm very open to doing because I wouldn't mind the left midfielder having defensive capabilities. We're going to be playing Bolton at right mid, and I think having a left side that has those defensive capabilities as well, at least the ability to track back, is going to be important. But we do have a stacked list here, and we do need a particular set of players. We need another CDM or a more defensive central midfielder to kind of slowly replace Lund, and we also need to make sure that we're secure on both wings and up top. We need ourselves another Timmy Abraham because we only have the one. There's been a lot of great suggestions, so I'm going to go through. We won't do all the transfers, of course, in this one episode. We'll do a few of them. It will give you time, again, to get in even more suggestions, so feel free. Even if your suggestion is a player for the future, one for the championship, one potentially for the Prem, or someone you just think we should have on our radar for the future of the squad, let me know. Now, we are going to try and get as far into this month as humanly possible. We're going to maybe try and play 3 games. Usually with these transfer episodes, it's not always 3 games because, of course, there's a lot to get through. There's a lot of me waffling, a lot of players to sign. So it might only be 2 matches, and the 2 games I'm kind of looking at is definitely Cardiff and most likely Wigan. I think we will sim the Wycombe game, the opening game of the season, and Bolton. I think Cardiff and Wigan are probably the 2 more important games because they're the kind of teams we need to be beating this season if we want to get promoted. When it comes to players transfer listed, these are the potential players that will be leaving the club. McAlnay with a sad heart, to be honest with you, with a very sad heart, but he's most likely going to be leaving the team. Jason Lowe as well, just didn't get the game time last year, just isn't quite up to pace with League 1 if we're being 100% honest. Teray, who I've always been 50-50, my verdict's been out of him since we started this series, and Shepherd. I think the decision to go without left back and right back is a big one, but I think it's the right one because our form towards the back end of the season was the best it's been, and that was with 3 at the back. Right, so we've had a couple of bids come in instantly. Tom King, Shepherd. Obviously, I've rejected the Tom King one from Schalke, and we also got one from, I think, a J-League team here for Liam Shepherd. Now, of course, Liam Shepherd, we are trying to get out of the club, but I would rather move him to a team that, in reality, he's most likely going to go to. So hopefully somebody in England, maybe Scotland, Wales, anything more like that. I just don't see him going to Japan. Another offer now for Shepherd, and it's just not one that we would do. It's Football Club Juarez, so he would be going to Mexico. We would be getting a 34-year-old centre-back who's somebody... It's just no. Pretty decent offer here for Ashley Hunter from Michelin, 1.1 million. But, I mean, Hunter is massively important to this team, and there's no way we're letting him go to Michelin. The transfer bids, they're coming in early, thick and fast. Got a transfer bid here for Teray from St. Palmley. I'm actually going to accept this one. He's Gambian. I could see him maybe going elsewhere, going over to Germany. Is it completely beyond the realms of possibility that someone from England would then make the decision to go over to Germany? So we'll accept this one from St. Pauli. 900,000. And I think we'll get at least 750 of that going into the kitty. We've got a whole host of transfer bids coming in now. We've got one for Elliot List. It's a decent amount of money, but again, we're not going to be letting Elliot List go unless he was a bigger team in England. One for McAlnay. We're just getting clubs at the minute, which unfortunately I wouldn't want to sell these players to. I'm going to keep an eye on it. If I can't get good bids from teams that make sense, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to sell them to teams that don't. I've had at least 4 bids in now for Liam Shepherd. None of them have been from clubs that make sense. So we're going to go ahead and accept this one. It's not really what I want to do, but I am worried that we're not going to be able to move some of these players on. I'm going to try my best to hold on for the correct fees from the correct clubs, but I guess in some situations, we're not going to have much of a choice. Oh, wow. We've got a decent offer here coming in from Sheffield United for Callum Doyle. It's 2.4 million, and because it's Sheffield United, they're a championship team, I'm going to negotiate this. We're going to try and get the best fee humanly possible. I'm not over the moon about letting Doyle go, but if we're being honest, if Sheffield United came in for him in real life, considering where we are in League One, Sheffield United in the Championship, I think we'd have to entertain it. I'm going to go with 4 million. We're going to see if they'll accept 4 million. I'm not going to change my stance on the 4 million. If they're not going to pay it, we'll be happily keeping him. I don't expect Sheffield United to turn around and pay it. No, they're not going to pay it. That's absolutely fine. I would rather keep Doyle, to be honest with you. At this stage, he's only 19. He's going to get better and better. Our chances of staving off interest once we hit the championship will be a lot easier, though. So I've been scouting free transfers, as I said, and we do need a CDM, and we've come across Luke Amos. He's been let go from his club. I believe that club will have been Reading, so it's not completely beyond the realms of possibility that he's been moved away from Reading, hasn't got the game time that he expected, and has not re-signed a new contract, and now is available. And I think he would be perfect for us. The injury-prone thing is a little bit worrying, but I've found when a player has that trait before, it doesn't really cause too many issues. So we're going to try and bring in Amos. Again, I won't be paying ridiculous fees here in this. I won't go for ridiculous wages. If his wage is 6,500, I'd probably be okay with that because he's a very talented player for his age. I'm hoping it's not too ridiculous. And he's going to take a pay cut. 4,700. Not the world's worst pay-on fee. And we get our first signing in the window. It's an instant improvement as well. I think he's going to be really good for us. Right, so Shepherd has left. Not to a team I would have wanted, but he's gone. Now, Ibar have made a bid for Harry Banks. No, thank you, Ibar. Again, if that was a championship or premiership team, we definitely have to entertain that bid. And I always will entertain them when we're at this level. But I think we can stave off interest from Ibar, especially for Harry Banks. His first season here was great. So there's still scout reports to come back, but I have just got a mammoth amount of them back. So there is a huge amount of new players on this list. We're hanging around the 7 million mark at the moment in terms of money that we can spend here to improve this team, which is ridiculous. And there is several players on this list I wouldn't mind. I found a Cotto as well, who looks like he could be a decent player for us at centre-back as a free transfer. He's very, very quick, and that excites me. He's also a good header of the football and got good jumping reach. For Niels Nkunku as well, who could maybe be retrained to play a left midfielder. He's extremely rapid, which is something we don't really have out on the left. I mentioned it last season. Pace was something that we lacked a little bit out wide and struggled with. I'm not going to sign him, but I think we found Alexis Sanchez is regen. I think we found him. Roberto looks absolutely ridiculous, the 16-year-old Chilean. So I 100%, this has to be the Alexis Sanchez regen, and he looks unbelievable. Of course, I'm not going to sign him. I don't think it adds to us. I don't think it would make the career mode a little bit too easy if we started going for players like this at the level that we're at right now, but wow, he's a beast. He's probably the first regen that we've managed to find. Now, with the money we've got, we need a new youth scout because the youth is all important in this kind of save, and we're willing to pay a little bit extra. But again, I don't want to go for any of these kind of scouts. We're not at that level yet. We shouldn't be getting that kind of talent. Now, we've got a 2-star, 2-star. We had a 1-star, 1-star before. And now we're going to get our first 3-star, this Welshman, Curtis Johnson. And with Curtis Johnson, we're going to send him to Wales. We're also going to send a scout out here to Ireland. I'm going to do Northern Ireland first. Ireland was where it was suggested. We're going to leave England for a little bit now. So we will go and scout Ireland. And hopefully these 2 scouts will come back with some really good young talent. Now, I do still have a couple of players left in the youth academy, but if we're being 100% honest, the likelihood that either of these boys make it are very slim. Harley Coates, has the best chance of everyone because at 15, 60 overall, he actually could end up being decent enough, at least to be on the fringe of the first team. And then first game of the season, this is going to be the starting 11. Obviously, we're going to sim this one here against Wigan and hopefully come up with a win. I'm hoping the Sims are going to be on my side, at least at the early stage of the season, because of course now there's going to be teams in this league that I think we are better than and we should get the results. This will most likely be the starting 11 for the majority of games. We've got Amos to think about coming in, and I haven't made any signings yet apart from him, so there could be some big changes. We still need a striker. I still think we need another centre mid. We need a centre back, and the money is starting to stack up. And the Sim might be with us this year. Should be noted that Dom Telford came off the bench and scored. We're looking for him to have a much better year this time round. Last season just really wasn't quite good enough for the team, especially a team that's trying to get promotion. This time round, he's bagged himself a goal in the opening game of the season. Lund with a goal as well. He'll know with Amos coming in right behind him that Lund will be under a little bit of pressure to perform this season. I mean, he's done it right there, scoring a goal and the opener of the season at home. Got another offer for McAlney, and I'm really sorry, guys. I want to get the right bids to the right clubs, but unfortunately, if we're going to move these players on, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. This might be something that happens in the lower leagues because it doesn't seem like League 1 and League 2 sides really come in for your players too often, so I'm going to accept this one for Conor McAlney. Really frustrating. I wish there was some kind of transfer logic when it came to the game of FIFA, but unfortunately we don't have that. Hopefully that's something in the future we might have, but right now we don't. As we go through the leagues, I'm always going to look to try and move players on to the correct clubs, but I guess sometimes we're just not going to get that opportunity again here. This is a team that really I don't think McAlney would go to, but we'll accept it. McAlney does go in the end. We're going to get 275k. I have noticed, maybe it's a lower league thing, but we don't seem to get most of the money. Now, of course, I promoted some youth players. They're probably not going to see game time this year, so I'm going to try and get as many loans out as possible to help improve them. Now, we do take on Cardiff next. They're 20th in the league. I want to play this game, but first of all, I think I want to make a transfer. I've given it a lot of thought, and he's just been requested so many times. He wasn't actually playing for Peterborough. This is the reason why we're going to go in for him. Like, he wasn't getting game time for Peterborough. They weren't using him. They weren't playing him last season. I don't expect they'll use him this year as well. So we are going to go in for Ricky J. Jones. I think he's probably been the most requested player in this series. He is going to be a heavy price, but I think we can accept it considering the money we've brought in, and we already know we're a team that's going to be trying to push up the league this year. We're treating this as a season that we are trying to get promoted. I'm going to try and get this deal done. 3 million is where we're going to start off with this transfer, and they're going to accept 3 million. That is absolutely fine with me. This is going to be a marquee signing, a record signing for Salford, and of course in this series. Hopefully he doesn't want a ridiculous wage. He's going to be around that 6,500, which I'm okay with. This will mean there's a lot more places up for grabs up top, or at least places that are going to be fought for. I do think Ricky J. Jones is quite versatile, though. I see him not just as a striker. I think we could even get away with playing him as a cam or out on the wing. He's not told me what he wants, so we're going to go in with a signing bonus of 86 grand, and I'm going to go in with 6k, and hopefully we're not gonna upset him. Okay, they're happy with that. That is actually less than I was expecting to be made to pay. So Ricky J. Jones joins Salford. So here we go then. First played game of the season against Cardiff City. They lost their opener. This is going to be our starting 11. The big news is that Dom Telford starts. I'm going to give him the opportunity. I think he deserves the chance. And we're going to give him it because he scored in the last game, and that's important. And hopefully if he's in form, we'll see a little bit more. Hopefully he's up for it today. He's going to be partnered next to Timmy Abraham. This is pretty much the full strength 11 that we will be going for at the moment. Of course, there's new transfers to come in. Ricky J. Jones is on the bench. Hopefully, we can compile the misery on Cardiff here and hand them their second loss of the season, as we've got our second home game of the season. It's going to be important that we win these kind of games against these kind of teams. Now, we did okay against Cardiff last time round, to be honest with you, when we played against them. And I'm hoping we're going to do okay here again. Telford there, out wide to Timmy Abraham. Getting a bright start, I think, is quite important for this team. I think the movement of the ball is important as well, and making sure we find spaces. Banks there with a shot early. He's going to get a second bite at the cherry. Then he got a third bite of the cherry. Lado there does brilliantly to pull that one back to Lund now with a shot. Oh, imagine if he scored in the opener. He scored in the opening game of the season, actually. We should mention that. And it's going to be important that he has a good season because we brought Amos in, and it's going to be the first time he might be challenged by another player, the fact that we do have Amos in the team. Now, we know that Cardiff will want to avenge their opening day loss, so they're going to play, I imagine, pretty well in this game. We just have to be smart defensively. I think our defense is actually the strongest part of this team. I can't believe how good of a defense we've built in that last season. Like, this defensive lineup that we've got, we have 4 players all in their 70s in the back line. It is absolutely ridiculous how strong of a defense we managed to build. Salford there can't play a good ball in behind. I'm going to be looking at him today to hopefully be a pretty big facilitator in terms of us coming forward. Bolton's going to have a good season because he's more replaceable than ever with him playing on the right-hand side. We have options. We have Marvin. He is not going to be just completely at ease this season, I don't believe. So he needs to be cautious about that. Lund's done brilliantly. That's a great ball in. Lado here for the first goal of the season for him, and he drags it beyond the post. He's not left-footed, he's right. That was a really poor shot, though, from him. To get more comfortable then on his other foot because he can't be missing them. Now, we are going to be looking for a cam. So, Lado's going to have a bit of pressure this year for the first time. I feel like he's been easily the best cam for us so far. And it's not really been a question of, is he going to be starting or not? That needs to change, obviously. We need to put him under pressure this year. We want to be a team that gets promoted, win that back to Salford. He does win it back. And then in the end loses out and we'll have a free kick. Main thing here, I think, put pressure on as many players as humanly possible this season. That's a good ball over the top. No, it's not. Lado's got a fairly decent ball over the top. That's a good ball over the top. Timmy Abraham wins it. Timmy Abraham from distance absolutely smashes it high and wide, and that's going to be the halftime whistle, I think. He's got to do it. Has he got to do better? It's a very difficult chance. And although we dominated that first half, it is still 0-0, and that is not good enough for us. We need to do better. We need to find a goal. That's the most important thing here. Just grab ourselves a goal, and we could be happy. I'm over the moon with the way we defended, to be honest with you. I'm quite impressed. Timmy Abraham there will pull that one back. I want to see a lot of that from him this season. A lot of that great hold-up play we saw towards the back of last year. More now. Moore's not bad at pinging that over. He's going to get it over to Timmy, but again, I think when you've got a few players together, that ball over the top doesn't work anymore. And it's a little bit frustrating because it should still work, but it doesn't. It locks onto the player you least want it to lock onto. This is dangerous. Moore there. Oh, get to that king. Oh, Moore gets it away. Oh, that was a warning sign from Cardiff that they're still in this game. As we're being a little bit rash, I think, moving the ball out. We should be controlling the match a little bit more, I feel, here. Loses out. Just got to kind of get in the right position. Oh, my God. What a goal that is from Cardiff. I'm not sure what you do about that one. That's an unbelievable finish. Dominance means absolutely nothing when you don't take your chances. This is a very, very good goal. We'll double sub. Elliot List comes on. We're also going to see Marvin coming on the right. I can't have this result. This is horrendous. Here come Cardiff again, and they just seem to be finding a little bit of a rhythm now, and we seem to be making mistakes. They're in again, and that's another great shot. This time a great save from King. And what was that? We've made a humongous mistake. The ball across is headed away by Moore. We get a little bit lucky with that. Timmy Abraham tries to knock that one onto Lado. Wow, we are really under the cosh this second half now. This is feeling a little bit like old Salford. This is not a performance I'm proud of at the moment. But we've dominated and they've just cut us wide open. This could be another. It still might be another. Luckily for me, Marvin gets back. Well, I can't explain what's happened this second half. We've fallen apart. We have just absolutely fallen apart. I don't really know what's going on. It's just gone in the bin, to be honest with you. We're being closed down very easily. We're making terrible passes all of a sudden. And that first half of football has been completely undone by, well, I don't know how to explain the second half at the minute. Players are out of position. We're just not performing well. And this is probably going to be the first loss of the season at this stage. Banks needed a really good run. And he needed a good ball over to Elliot List. Elliot List did brilliantly. He needs a good ball into Tommy Abraham's. Ball across was shocking. It was really good play until that ball across. Liddell there can't get it in either. And I just can't believe how poor we are going forward. We've had this before. We've had really shaky starts. We've had really poor going forward performances. And we're having another one here. Moore wins that back. This is going to be important. Timmy Abraham does brilliantly to get that one over to Elliot List. The problem is now Elliot List needs help. He's got help in the face of Liddell. Liddell now needs help. He'll pull that one back to Banks. This has to be a big moment right now. This really has to be a big moment. Banks there into Liddell. Liddell turns it. Again, can we just find a breakthrough? I'm not sure. Marvin. Banks. Back to Marvin. Back across to Timmy Abraham. Look at this. I just can't find the breakthrough. Elliot List now maybe with a breakthrough. And it's going to be a corner. On comes Ricky J. Jones, and it wasn't even a corner. I'm positive that was a corner. But Ricky J. Jones has come on the pitch for Timmy Abraham. I actually think Timmy Abraham's not had a bad game, but we need anything up there in terms of pace and power to get in this one. Ricky J. Jones keeps that in. That is mightily impressive. Ledo now. What is that? Ledo's worst performance I've seen of him. Cardiff City 1, Salford City 0, and old wounds reopened. Really? Is this how this season's going to go? That was a horrendous second half performance. We didn't really create much in what was a dominating game for us in terms of possession. I'm extremely disappointed. Lado had an awful game. We had 54% of the possession. Really not good enough. We didn't really give Cardiff a sniff. They scored a screamer. Their goal was brilliant. I'm not really mad at the defence in that one. I'm just extremely frustrated that we had nothing going forward. Going to lead me to tweak the tactic just a little bit here. So we've tweaked the tactic just a little bit there. I've just tweaked the roles because I don't know. It played really well for us last year, but that was really poor. We have the EFL Cup coming up now, and hopefully we can bounce back. This will be the starting 11. It's not really a tournament that I care about too much. If we did get knocked out, it wouldn't be the end of the world. We do get knocked out on penalties. Amos in his first start for the club misses a penalty. Elliot List bagging a goal for us as well, though. And Ricky J. Jones gets his first goal for the club. Really frustrating, though, that we've managed to make ourselves go out on penalties. So far at the start of this year, that is 2 defeats. I feel like we're getting used to this, though. We don't tend to start seasons well. Again, I genuinely do not care about that cup, though. Wigan coming up next. This is a game I care about. We need to pick up wins here. We can't start our season with 1 win and 2 losses. That would be horrendous. Here we go, then. Time for the first win of the season, boys, against Wigan. We've got to get it, man. Well, the first played win of the season. This is going to be the starting 11. And no messing about. Elliot List is back in the team. Ricky J. Jones is on the bench again, obviously scoring the goal. Wasn't that impressed with Bolton, so we're going Marvin on the right. I'm looking to make another transfer after this game, but I want to give these boys the opportunity. We played so well in that first half against Cardiff and then fell apart in the second. Hopefully, we can do the business here against Wigan. We can have a good team, though. Let's make no mistake about it. But like Cardiff, they've started really badly to the season. They lost their opening 2 games, which fills me with a bit of confidence, I guess. But we didn't really put them to the sword, did we, Cardiff? So we're still in a bit of a similar position here when it comes to taking on Wigan. They are going to be a problem, I imagine, if given the correct opportunities in front of goal. Now, we tweaked the tactic, so hopefully those tweaks work in our favour. Marvin there playing very far back. Lado actually did brilliantly to get the ball forward. Bit of a turn of pace there. Get it into Elliot List. Elliot List then. We'll ping that one over to Timmy Abraham. It's a rough position for him. And I mean, he's never going to score with shots like that. Again, pretty decent start to the game. Good ball over from Elliot List. Created enough space. Lado is going to be under the microscope for this one, though, because I'm very, very disappointed by that first game we just saw him in. I've not seen him play like that in a while. He was awful. Couldn't string a pass together, and he's been the guy that links up the attack for me. That's a good ball over the top. How have they got that one in? King didn't look like he was going to go for it. Yeah, it was offside in the end. Lund then pings that forward. Ashley Hunter. He's going to want Timmy Abraham because he's the taller of the 2 into Elliot List. What is that? I think Elliot List actually headed that against Kerr. He did. It's going to be... We got a corner. We haven't really been good from corners. That hasn't changed at all, has it? Well, performances have not been up to scratch. That needs to change in this match. Banks now. He needs a bit more out than what he's got. That's a good ball in, though, to Marvin with a shot. Oh, what a save. And then pings that one into List. Banks. That's good play. That's really good play. Lado still got it. What footwork that is from Lado. This is unbelievable footwork from the young man. Timmy Abraham now. Good shooting opportunities. He's still going to get it. He's still got it. Lado will pick that ball back up. Banks then. Oh, he can't get it back across. Lado, though, keeps it. He's looked really good here in the tight situation that he's found himself in, Lado. And the shot is saved by OK. And that is going to be half-time. And again, we've not made our chances count. We ended that half brilliantly. Absolutely on top. Can we take that spirit now into the second half? Lado there showing what he's good at, though. That footwork from him is super important because it's his strength, I would say. Lado's footwork is without a doubt his strength. And his ability to find the right ball as well is really important. Lado now has been found. I've got no one to play it to, but we get away with that. Ashley Hunter. Then into Timmy Abraham with a turn and a shot. Oh, he's round the crossbar. Banks picks it up. Banks with a shot and a save from the goalkeeper. How has he saved that? I don't think he had any idea about it. Banks' shot just ended up straight at the keeper. Go on then, Elliot List. Oh, that's perfect. Elliot List, surely. Oh, my God. What another great save from the keeper. Their keeper is keeping them in this. Absolutely ridiculous saves from him as Moore's in there. We can't beat him. He's unbeatable at the minute. Lado's done brilliantly. That's a good ball over. Ashley Hunter again now. An opportunity. Okay, saves it. Timmy Abraham can't get to it. What have they fed the man? What have they fed the man? Banks there wins that back. Timmy Abraham. Oh, it's poor from Timmy. It's really, really poor from Timmy. But I don't know what the keeper is on here. I cannot get the ball past him. Well, here come Wigan. After all this dominance, after all this good play, are we going to concede a sloppy goal? We are known for conceding a sloppy goal, and we will concede a sloppy goal. I don't know what to say. Their goalkeeper saved absolutely everything, and we concede a really poor goal. Well, on comes McNeil and Ricky J. Jones. I've got no words, boys. It looks like we're going to lose both games at the start of this season, 1-0. And, I mean, this is not the sign of a team that's going to get promoted. So then into Banks. Banks then into Elliot List with the shot, and the goalkeeper saves it again. I'm not sure we can beat this goalkeeper today, to be honest with you. I'm just not sure we can beat him. He's winning absolutely everything. I've never had this. Well, I have. I've had it a few times. But you can't put the ball beyond him. I just genuinely cannot put the ball beyond him. Humphreys, oh, we're way out of position. We're in trouble, and there it goes. I can't believe it. We sink. It's 2-0 Wigan, and this is most possibly the worst way we could have started this season. Well, if we thought the struggles were beyond us, we were massively wrong. This is arguably the worst way we could have started this season against two sides who were on really bad losing sprees. Well, we've managed to hand them a couple of victories. It's going to be a massive set of coming days for us as Elliot List can't pass the ball now. Going to be a huge set of days coming up for us, to be honest with you, to turn this one around. The only plus side is we're seeing this form while the transfer window is still open. And in the early stages of the season, as we see another horrendous pass there from Elliot List. There aren't many worse ways to start a season that you're planning on trying to get promoted. I'll tell you that for free. What a horrendous performance. That's 2 played games with 0 goals in them. 2 played games with just pure dominance. And absolutely nothing coming from it. Their goalkeeper was ridiculous in this one. We had 12 shots, and he saved them all. Well, he saved a good portion of them. Wigan had 3 shots and scored 2 goals. That is where we're at the moment. Again, the plus side is we're right at the start of the season, so there's plenty of time to turn this around. But Salford sit 18th with 1 win and 2 losses. And a loss in the cup to kick off this season. So there isn't tons and tons of money left. And we need another centre-back. So I think we're going to go with Akoto, this Ghanaian. Now, hopefully it's not going to be a ridiculous wage. He's very quick, which is important to me. And I think we just need that extra centre-back, just so that we've got 5, so that we can cover all bases. And I'd rather put the money now into left attacking midfielder or left-sided midfielder, cam, and centre mid if possible. That's not a bad deal either. I think that's where we need to put our focus in terms of cash we're going to spend. So that's 3 transfers done in this opening episode of the season. Not really the start to the year we would have wanted. We'll find our flow. I feel like we always have a rough start to the season while players are getting sharpness and whatnot. And then we kind of find our rhythm, find our way in the world, and end up picking up some decent results. But I'm quite happy with the players we brought in. I'm excited to see what Ricky J. Jones can do. Amos as well will start getting game time, and hopefully Akoto can help seal up the back. I can't believe that we've dominated 2 games there against sides I think we should be beating and haven't come up with a result. Now, if we look at the league table, of course, we're in 18th at the moment, but it's really early days. If we turn our form around quickly, we should be up there and in the race, which is exactly what we're going to look to do in the next episode, as well as finish off the window. We've got Hull City and Sheffield Wednesday currently sat at the top. Luton in there as well. Bolton, Wigan. Wigan mainly because they got their victory against us. We would have been there had we won that game. We need to turn stuff around. We need to start finding the back of the net. That's going to be all important important. But that's going to be it for this episode, boys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the second season here in League One. Hopefully, we can find our feet far quicker than we did last season and pick up form as quickly as possible. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for your support. Make sure to smash the subscribe button if you're new around here. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more of this series. And I will see you, hopefully, in a much better mood at the end of episode number 2 of season 3.